what draws you to charity?
I've never had lots when it comes to money or anything like that, but I've always had a personality that people engaged with. I always had a spark that all people always identified. So I was filthy rich in personality and drive and discipline. And I always knew that with great power comes great responsibility. And for me, if you have 2 Rand, you must give at least 50 cents of that 2 Rand away and give it back. My tax guy the other day was complaining that the biggest section in my expenditure is charity and giving back and like loans and stuff. And he was like, we have to cut this down. And I was like, no. If you cut this down, it's going to cut down where the money comes from. I give and it comes back 20-fold. And for me, I just was raised in a household with people just giving. You give not because you have lots to give, but you give because it's the right thing to do. And that's how I was raised.
There's a lot to talk about how you were raised. So one of the reasons why this show exists is that I believe everyone's got a cool car story in them. What's yours?
So I've never been a car guy. Like I can remember my mother having like an Uno, like a light blue Uno. And I remember my mother used to go on like trips and she used to play like all the divas, Randy Crawford, Aretha Franklin, you know what I mean, Luther Vandross, Roberta Flack,
George Benson.
That's what I grew up on, And then we used to do long drives. My mother was a driver, but my dad didn't have a license. So to drive for hours on end, and we used to just drive and eat. But like we weren't like the quintessential, picket fence kind of family. No, we weren't. But now I'll just do anything to do that all over again because my mom's gone, my dad's gone, you know what I mean? And, but the parents die, everything starts fizzling out, My mom was a big driver, independence, and got her license early and, when women weren't getting licenses. And
Definitely not.
It wasn't really about the car, it was about being the people in the car.
Yeah, so I kind of had 2 things that I had a question mark next to. The one was family trips. I got a family trip vibe from you. And I also, another question that I had was, I was going to like suss it out of you, but you already came forth with it was, your mom must have been an amazing woman. And I want to tell you why I thought so before you even tell me. But another initiative that you were quite invested in was the anti-femicide movement that kicked off here, thank God. And also like the sanitary towel drives and so on. And when I mentioned to you how that was something I was interested in as well, you were like, "Hi, got daughters, right?" And I said, "No, I got 3 boys." And then I thought, maybe what you're seeing in me is the same thing that's in you. It doesn't come from, the next generation. Maybe it comes from our moms. Like, I think maybe we had like these really, really strong women in our lives without realizing how it was affecting us at the time.
Definitely. I think, it's, for me, I think I get a lot of credit for the work I do in woman-oriented spaces. But a guy like me wouldn't be needed if we didn't have a problem. You know what I mean? Like, and then another thing I realized is that I'm the kind of guy who sees people jumping red robots, and because I stopped the red robot, I get people clapping for me. But I should stop at the traffic lights. You know what I mean? I should stop at the red. You know what I mean? The people jumping are the problem. And because so many people are jumping the red robot, the guy who stops the traffic, great job, great job. Nah, bruh, I should be anti-femicide. We should be anti-women being killed. We should be anti-any human being killed. We should be anti-rape. Like we should be anti-men getting raped, women getting raped, or kids getting raped. You know what I mean? I think it should be normalized. I think it makes me uncomfortable when I get credit for it. It really makes me feel so uncomfortable. Because for me, it's all I know. You know what I mean? I only know to stop with the red robot. I struggle with compliments. I get lots of them, but I struggle with them because internally I have this thing in my head that says, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I did well. Obviously I did. You know what I mean? And that's what I have, is that. And then lastly, I think discipline equals freedom. People don't realize if I eat clean and I exercise and I do what's good for me, the freedom is a healthy body. That's the freedom. But people who eat shit and don't work out, they think they're the free ones by eating shit. But their bodies won't last long. You know what I mean? So for me, I think discipline equals freedom. And for me, it's the discipline part of it is consistency. I think I keep consistency in who I am, but there's a price to pay continuously.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I always get into shit. But the discipline is just stay true to who I am.